Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Glacial Geek Battle Report. I am Phil, the Glacial Geek, coming to you here from Savannah Lion Games in Pooler, Georgia, where I'm about to fight a 2,000-point Tempest of War mission between my Dark Angels and Matt's Grey Knights. So the story that we've got going on here is this grudge has been going on for quite a while. The Grey Knights seem to have known some information about the Dark Angels, and the Dark Angels don't like it when other people have information. So when they met on this planet doing an operation that was being sent out here, a full Primaris detachment of the Dark Angels coming out here, they had heard the stories and the animosity and the bad blood between them and the Grey Knights. So when the Grey Knights came in, some of their actions were taken as offenses, and to defend the honor of Caliban, the Dark Angels decided to show them who the true masters are. So that's the story that we got going on. We are going to be doing the Tempest of War missions here. So as you can see, we don't have anything else out there because what is going to happen with these Tempest of Wars, the way it works is you have multiple decks that come in the kit. In the box is just the regular one box here. It has a deck of deployment zones, it has a deck of primary missions, and it has a deck of mission rules. So things that just a little spice it up, a little shot from the Spice Weasel into your mission there. Bam! Right there with the Spice Weasel. I got to hit it with the Spice Weasel. And then it also has two decks of basically Maelstrom cards, which will have objectives that you have to try to score during the game. During your command phase, you will draw up to 3 cards from your deck, and you have to try to accomplish them. At the end of your turn, you can discard any that you don't want to do, and you also have access to a stratagem that allows you to spend a CP to get rid of one during your command phase to replace it if you just think there's no way you're going to get it and it's worth the CP to try to get your points as you go forward. But the way it works is you just draw it randomly, and that becomes the mission that you're going to be playing. So, let's draw right now. We have sweeping engagements. So we've got basically the corners there, which will be interesting. So you got the one in the no man's land over there. We then have, nope, I don't know why I'm doing that. That's the same deck. So the sweeping engagement will be our deployment zone. We then draw priority targets as our primary mission. In the second, third, fourth, and fifth battle rounds, at the end of each player's command phase, the player whose turn it is scores 5 victory points for each of the following conditions they satisfy. They control 1 or more objective markers. They control more objective markers than their opponent controls. And then at the end of the battle, each player scores an additional 5 victory points for each objective marker they control to a maximum of 20 victory points. It's also worth noting with the objectives, because it doesn't show you where to put the objectives on here, because what we're going to do is we are going to take turns placing objectives, up to 5 objectives, because we're playing a strike force mission. We'll place 1 has to go into each of the deployment zones, and then the other 3 have to be in the no man's land of the deployment map. And then after they're placed, then we choose deployment zones. So, and you actually can place the scenery beforehand, and the objectives get placed. They can be placed on terrain as long as everything can be go and get it. So, interesting the way that works. And then the last is going to be the mission rules. Hidden supplies. In this mission, the players must set up 1 additional objective marker. Okay, so that's cool because it alternates back and forth. It's supposed to start with the person who is the youngest, which would be me because I'm better looking. I'm just kidding, it's Matt. Matt's definitely younger. But he likes to call me old man, but I figured it's my channel so I could try to take it, but then I gave it away immediately, so whatever. So we got the hidden supply, so we'll set up an additional marker. So there will be 6 objective markers on the table for that. So that is going to be the mission. So what we will do now is we will set up this board and we'll come back to you after it's done. So for the Dark Angels, I'll be running a battalion detachment. Leading off that detachment, we have a captain in Phobos armor, we have a Primaris chaplain on bike, and we have a Phobos librarian. We have a 5-man intercessor squad. We have a 5-man assault intercessor squad. We have a 5-man heavy intercessor squad. We have a 5-man infiltrator squad. We have a 4-man squad of inceptors. We have a 3-man suppressor squad. We have a 3-man eliminator squad. We have a 3-man eradicator squad. We have a 4-man Blade Guard veteran squad. We have a 10-man Hellblaster squad. And last but not least, we have a Redemptor Dreadnought. And for the Grey Knights, he'll be running a battalion detachment. Leading off that detachment, we have Drago, we have a Grandmaster and Nemesis Dread Knight armor, and a Brotherhood champion. We have 3 5-man strike squads. We have a 10-man Paladin squad. We have 2 5-man interceptor squads. We have a Rhino. And last but not least, we have 2 Dread Knights. And bam, we've got a table. So we've got all of the terrain out here. I'll go over the deployment, the objectives, and then we'll go over deployment. So we've got an objective back here in this deployment zone. We've got an objective back there in that deployment zone. Then we have 1, 2, 3 in the middle, and then 4 over here in no man's land. And that's the 6 objectives. So normally you put 5, but because we drew that one game rule, the rule that had 1 additional there, we switched back, alternated back and forth placing objectives. So then we had 6 objectives that we had placed there. Going over deployment now for the Dark Angels. I've got an intercessor squad over here on this side, on this flank. We've got my 10-man Hellblaster squad along with the captain and Phobos armor back over here. We've got the 4-man Blade Guard veteran squad along with my chaplain on bike, the Phobos librarian, and the Redemptor Dreadnought. We then have my 5-man infiltrator squad there on the objective. We've got heavy intercessors back over on this side, eliminators up at the building here, and assault intercessors over on this flank on this side. Going over deployment now for the Grey Knights. We've got his 10-man paladin squad back over here along with Drago. We then have the 3 Dread Knights. The one on the right here is the Grandmaster in Nemesis Dread Knight armor. We then have his 5-man Strike Squad. That's a Strike Squad over here, along with the Brotherhood Champion. Then we have his Rhino with the 2 5-man Interceptor squads. Oh man, I almost said Intercessor squads, but no, they're Interceptor squads inside there. And then my opponent has put 2 of the Strike squads into Deep Strike. So that is going to be the deployment. So we will now roll off to see who will go first. I rolled a 3, my opponent rolled a 6, so we will come back to you with Grey Knight's turn here on turn number 1. All right, so now we're going to draw the cards here at the beginning of his command phase to see what he's got. So the first one we have is Blood and Guts. So he will use the second, while the secondary as active, keep a Blood and Guts tally each time an enemy unit is destroyed by a melee attack made by a model in your army. Add 1 to the Blood and Guts tally. This is achieved once your Blood and Guts tally reaches a certain number. So we're doing Strike Force, so it's 3. So he has to kill 3 units in close combat to score it. And if, when this secondary mission is first drawn for your battle size, your opponent has fewer than the number of units needed, which it doesn't matter. So I've got more than that. So he has to kill 3 to get that. He then has no retreat, no surrender. This secondary is achieved at the end of your opponent's next turn. So at the end of my turn, this will be achieved, or at the end of the battle, whichever happens first, provided that no unit in his army failed a morale test during the battle round, no unit in his army made a fallback move during the battle round, and no unit from his army started a normal move or advanced move within range of an objective marker at the start of the turn in this battle round ended that move out of range of that objective marker. So he can't fall away from objective markers, can't move away from objective markers, can't fail morale, and cannot fall back. And then capture enemy outposts. The secondary mission is achieved at the end of your turn if you control the objective marker in your opponent's deployment zone. That's a tough one. And he's probably going to, he's got his thumbs down. Are you going to spend a CP? Because you have the access to the new stratagem that everyone has, which is you can spend a CP to discard one of your objectives and then just replace it with a new one. Yeah. Would you want to do that? Okay, so he's going to discard that one and spend the CP and get it. And then you got Assassination. So, secondary mission is achieved at the end of your turn if either of the following conditions are satisfied. 1 or more enemy character or warlord units were destroyed during the turn. All character or warlord units from your opponent's army have been destroyed during the battle. So he's got to kill one of my characters. So it might be difficult, but it may not be, because they've got a lot of movement shenanigans that they can do and focused or targeted psychic abilities he's got. So we'll see how this all goes. I definitely still think it's better than trying to hold that back objective. So, all right, so that's going to be his objective. So we'll come back to you after his movement phase. All right, movement phase for the Grey Knights here on turn number 1. Interceptors. Yes, Interceptors. I was right. 5-man squad of Interceptors over here came from the vehicle that was over there. They got basically 15 inches of move, so they disembarked 3 inches and then moved 12 inches. Jumping up over here, which is pretty crazy. Getting to looking for the charge over here. So the fact is they jumped onto the objective over here, and with his objective that he's trying to get, he can still charge off of it because it only specifies move or advance movement that you can't do off it. So you can charge off of it, you just can't move or advance move off of it if you are looking to try to score that. So he should be fine over there. These guys also came from the same vehicle, looking to get the charge off onto my infiltrators over on this side. The Dread Knight moving around, these two Dread Knights moving around this side, looking to get some shots off downfield and do some havoc. But this unit back over here, these guys had to stay on there. They moved around a bit, but stayed on the objective over here because he doesn't want to get off of it. And then over here, Drago and his Paladin bros stayed back over here. I wonder if they are thinking about doing some kind of psychic shenanigans, maybe. It should be noted, by the way, I don't know why I didn't say this before. Oh, also his Rhino moved in, tucked himself inside the building over there. Probably a garage is what I'm thinking that is. So he's over there. It's worth noting right here that you might remember Matt if you are a long-time viewer of the channel, and by long-term view, like time viewer, I mean like literally like the 5 of you that watched my first battle report. He is the guy who I played against my first battle report way back in the day, years ago, when I started, when the Glacial Geek name made sense when I was still up in Alaska. But he is down here visiting for a bit, so I said, bring your army and we will play, because he's got beautiful, beautiful Grey Knights, and I wanted to get them on the channel. But yeah, we've been, he was there at the very beginning. So presumably, I guess if he had watched that battle report, I don't even know if he did, but he watched it 5 times. So never mind, none of you would have seen it because he's all 5 views or whatever. But he was one of the first. He was the first one there. We had embarked to do like this epic narrative campaign. Got 2 games in and realized that he was just stomping me so bad it was just not going to be fun anymore. And that's kind of set the tone for the rest of the Glacial Geek. Excellent. All right, well, that is the movement phase of the Grey Knights here on turn 1. We will come back to you with psychic shenanigans. All right, start off the psychic phase. Drago's going to start us off. What are you going to do first?
Sanctuary.
We're going to do Sanctuary onto the Paladins over here. That gives them a 4-up invul save, correct?
Yep.
All right. For a 6. Ooh, off to a good start. Going to spend a CP on that one. There we go. Into a 6, so it does go off, but did have to spend the CP there. All right. And now he is going to cast Gate of Infinity onto the Paladins as well, looking to jump away shenanigans-wise.
I do like
that will go off on an 11. And that's where they ended up, 9 inches away from my Assault Intercessors over here, because he didn't feel like getting anywhere near my Hellblasters because of Hellblaster reasons. But now they are going to cast Armored Resilience onto themselves. What does that do?
+1 to their armor save.
+1 to their armor save over here. That goes off on a 7?
Yeah.
Yep. I am going to try to deny that.
I never run a list without.
And I do with an 8. Woo! And now his Grandmaster over here is going to cast Empiric Amplification. So what are you looking for? 7?
Yeah, on those guys.
On the the infiltrators?
Yeah.
Okay, on the infiltrators over there.
Yep, looking for a 7.
Looking for a 7. Does go off with a 9. Can't deny that now. And then the Brotherhood champion back over here is going to cast Divination, trying to get himself a CP. Does go off on a 6. So now his Paladins over here are going to start us off in the Shoosting phase. He's going to do Cybolt ammunition, right, for 2 CP, which will give him +1 AP and also have him auto wound on hits of 6. So he is then going to shoot into my Blade Guard veterans over here. They do have Storm Shields, so they do not get the benefit of Armor of Contempt, but they still get +1 to their armor save because of the Storm Shield, which is why it made sense for him to use it on this unit that he's shooting into, because with Armor of Contempt, if he has AP 0, they would get no benefit, but if they have AP 1, he would ignore that AP. I would ignore that AP 1 because of Armor of Contempt, and it would have canceled it out. You still would have gotten the 6s to auto wound, which would be nice, especially against my Blade Guard veterans, since they have basically the Deathwing rule. So they have the mini. They've got the permanent transhuman. Pardon me. So he would only be wounded on 4s. Although I guess in this case he got bolters, they would be 4s anyway. But anyway, here comes his roll. These are going to be for his storm bolters into them, hitting on 3s, right?
Yep. Rerolling all.
Rerolling all because Drago giving him the benefit there. All right, so he got the 4 6s over here, and then he's decided to fish for 6s. So he's going to reroll everything because hitting on 3s, he felt pretty confident that he's going to get a big chunk anyway, and then look for more 6s out here. Solid decision because all of those 6s, the bottom row there, are the ones that came in that second roll, and now this other roll was also pretty decent too. So now these ones are going to be strength 4, toughness 4, so looking for 4s to wound on all of these. All right, welcome back. All right, so it's going to be 20 wounds in here. Looking for 3-up saves because they've got -1, +1 for the storm shields, leaving them at 3-up saves. So here we go. Failing 1, 2. That's not bad. I'll take this. So that's going to be 2 dead, and 1 guy takes a wound. And now his Grandmaster is going to fire everything into my Redemptor over here. So here he goes. The black ones are going to be the Psy Cannon, and then the smaller ones are going to be the what? Silencer. So here we go. Hitting on 2s because he is a Grandmaster. All right. The strength on these?
8 for the Psy Cannon.
8 for the Psy Cannon, so that's going to be wounding on 3s.
5 for the Silencer.
5 for the Silencer, wounding on 5s. All right, we'll come back to you with that. All right, so we got 4 with the Psy Cannon. They're AP -2 and 2 damage apiece. And then we got the white ones are going to be the Gatling, which is going to be AP -1, 1 damage apiece. But because of Armor of Contempt, these become AP 1 and those become AP 0. And because of Duty Eternal, they are both are going to be 1 damage apiece. So pretty good over there with my Redemptor. So we're going to have we're going to do the 4 Psy Cannon shots. These are AP 1 in the end because of Armor of Contempt. So looking for 3-up saves. Failing 1 of those, so I get 1 wound there. And then we've got 5 that are coming in for the other ones, looking for 3-up saves as well. Failing another one of those, so he takes 2 damage. And then his other knight over there is going to fire into my heavy intercessors. The same guns firing in over here, hitting on 2s or 3s? 3s, because he's not a Grandmaster. But he will get reroll 1s because of the Grandmaster. Okay, no 1s, just a bunch of 2s. That's just the way it be sometimes. These are again strength 8 and strength 5, so this could be wounding on 3s and 4s. Because they're tough 5, they're chonky boys. All right, so we've got a couple misses there. We'll come back to you with the saves. All right, so the Psy Cannon is AP -2, 2 damage apiece. Because they are in cover and Armor of Contempt, they will have a 3-up save against those, but they're 2 damage apiece, so he's got 3-up saves. Make all of those. I'll take that. And then we've got 7 coming in for the other ones here, but these are going to be 2-up saves because of -1 from the AP and then +1 for the cover over there. So looking for 2-up saves. Failed 1 of them, so 1 will take 1 wound. Not bad. And then this Interceptor squad is going to fire into my Blade Guard veterans over here. So hitting on, got 1 more die gonna roll there. These are going to be hitting on 3s. Okay. Oh, okay. These are going to be looking for 4s to wound because they're bolters. Okay, so that's going to be 3 wounds over here. We've got 3 AP nothing, right? So they're going to have 3 2-up saves because of their Storm Shield. Failed 1 of them. Okay. All right, so here we go. We're going to start into the charge phase here. His Paladins are going to charge into my Assault Marines. He is in the Tide of Celerity, so he is going to have dice rolls of 1 or 2 count as 3 for this charge roll here. And he needs a 9-inch charge because he deep struck over there. That does count as a 3, but that's still only 7 inches. Not going to be enough together. You're going to spend a CP to reroll that? All right, here we go. That's going to make it with a 9-inch there. And now his interceptors over here are going to charge into my infiltrators. I'm going to spend a CP to Overwatch over here. So these are looking for 6s to hit. Show me them fill faces. Getting 1, 2 fill faces. Those will just auto wound because it is because they're the marksman bolt rifles that they have there. So that's going to be 2 no AP saves. So 3-ups. Because Armor Contempt reduces the AP by 1, so the AP was already 0. So 3-up saves. Trying to cheat, but you make them anyway, so you're good there. And then he can't actually fail this roll because even if you roll double 1s, that would be double 3s, which would be 6 inches. He needs a 5-inch charge to get in, but maybe give yourself some movement. Yeah, that's definitely better than that. We'll take 10. And now this squad is going to charge into my intercessors over here. They need a 7-inch charge, so he can technically fail this one. So let's see how that goes. He needs at least 1 4. Yeah, that's 6 and that 5. I think carry the 3 definitely in. All right, so we're gonna start out the fight phase over here. His interceptors are going to attack into my infiltrators. I'm going to spend 1 CP on transhuman because they're strength 5 with the halberds, so that would be wounding me on 3s, but now he's going to be wounding on 4s, so we'll see him roll no 3s to wound. But he's going to be hitting on 3s.
What I would suggest is...
All right, got a couple misses in there. And then these are going to be wounding on 4s now because of transhuman.
Stuff some of the way.
There were a couple 3s in there. All right, I feel okay. So that's going to be 5 wounds in there. What's the AP on these? -2, which becomes -1 because of Armor of Contempt. So it's going to be 5 4-ups. Making 1, 2, 3. I would have only made 1 if it wasn't for Armor of Contempt. 1 damage apiece?
3 damage apiece.
3 damage apiece. Oh, snap.
Because they got armor.
Because they got, what's that?
They got empiric amplification.
Empiric amplification. So that's going to be 3 damage apiece. So there's going to be just the 2 guys are going to be dead. And now my guys over here, I'm going to spend 2 CP to interrupt with them. We are going to be using, we're going to do all the attacks together, even though my sergeant has a chainsword, because the AP doesn't matter with Armor of Contempt now. So because Sanctic Astartes also get the benefit of that. So all the time I've been benefiting so far, he's also benefiting now against me. So we're going to do them all together here, but they've got 2 attacks base each, except for the sergeant who has 3, +1 for his chainsword, and +1 for each of them because they were charged. So the 17 attacks that are coming in here, hitting on 2s because they did not move in the previous movement phase as Dark Angels, which is pretty rad. Roll a lot of 1s though. That's how I make up for that. 6 1s out of 17, not bad. Getting a couple 2s there though. Hitting on 2s because of +1 to hit because of Dark Angels, because they didn't move in the previous movement phase. Yeah. These are now going to be wounding on 4s, strength 4, toughness 4. Not bad. Much better roll than my to hit roll, I think. So that is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not much better, but better at least statistical. So 6 wounds here, 3 up saves, failed 1, so he takes 1 wound. All right, so now his interceptors over here are going to attack back into my intercessors, hitting on 3s. Okay, not bad. And then these are going to be wounding on 3s because I did not transhuman them. So strength 5 with the halberds. Wounding on 3s. Okay. Just getting the 1 this time. Of course, when I don't have it, that's the way it works. So that's going to be 6 wounds in there. AP -2, which becomes AP -1 because of Armor of Contempt, looking for 4-up saves. Failed 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is 4 dead guys because it's damage 2, even without the empiric amplification. The paladins now are going to attack in. They've got 41 attacks coming in here. Pretty brutal. Hitting on 3s.
Yes.
But re-rolling everything because of Drago.
Yes.
All right. Come back to you with a re-roll. And then re-rolling everything because of Drago saying so. Ooh, nice conversion there. And then wounding on 3s because of halberds being halberds. All right, that's going to be 28 saves that I need to make over here. These are AP -2, which become AP -1 because of Armor of Contempt. 2 damage apiece, so every fail is going to be a dead Assault Marine over there. Yeah, they did. All right, so now my infiltrators over here are going to attack back. 2 attacks each, except for the sergeant who has 3. +1 because they got charged. Hitting on 2s because they did not move in the previous movement phase. Pretty good. And then these are going to be wounding on 4s. There's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wounds at AP nothing. So 5 2-up saves. 3-up saves. So it's failing 2 of them, so 1 will die. All right, that's going to be it, except for morale. My guys over here, I lost 4 from that squad, so it's going to be 4 plus. Philface, he is running, so he is gone. So that is going to be it for the Grey Knight's turn here. Did you score any of your secondaries yet? I guess no retreat doesn't happen until mine.
I got 1 blood and guts because that guy ran away.
Oh, because he ran away. That's right. That was not in combat. So that's going to be 1 for blood and guts so far, the assault squad that he killed. And assassination did not kill a character this turn. So we will come back to you after movement phase for well, actually, we'll come back to you with the cards for the Dark Angels here on turn 1. All right, cards being drawn for the Dark Angels. Number 1 Extend battle lines. The secondary mission is achieved at the end of your turn if you control the objective marker in your own deployment zone, and you also control one or more objective markers in no man's land. If you okay. I think I should be able to do that. We'll have to see if I can do that. Number 2. Raise banner. If when the secondary mission is generated, there are no infantry units or units of the objective secured ability remaining, discard this card. But that's not true. So the secondary mission is achieved when a unit from your army completes the raise banner action. See below. One unit from your army that is either an infantry keyword or the objective secured ability can start to perform this action at the end of your movement phase if it is within range of an objective marker in no man's land that you control. The action is completed at the end of your turn, provided the unit performed is still within range of the same objective marker. Okay, also maybe doable. We'll have to see. He did kill 2 of my units that I wanted to jump onto objective, but we'll see how that goes. And then we have Tempting Target. When the secondary mission is generated, your opponent must identify one objective marker in no man's land. This secondary mission is achieved at the end of your turn if you control the identified objective marker. So which one? No man's land, sir. Oh, this one over here? Okay, yeah, fair enough. All right, so we will come back to you. I think I'm okay with these, so I'm not going to do any CP to do that. So we'll come back to you after movement phase for the Dark Angels here on turn number 2. Turn 1. I lied. I'm gonna get rid of the Tempting Target. I just don't think I'm going to be able to get over this turn, and I would like to try to get it, because the other ones I don't think I can do this turn. Maybe extend battle lines I might be able to, but raise banners I'm not going to be able to do this turn, so I think I'm going to try to see what I can do to try to get some points here. So I'm going to get rid of that one, and the next one I draw is behind enemy lines. So that's also not going to happen this turn. If you achieve at the end of your turn, if two or more units from your army, excluding aircraft, are wholly within your opponent's deployment zone. So, yeah, not going to happen this turn for sure. So we will come back to you again with the movement phase. All right, movement phase for the Dark Angels here on turn number 1. My Hellblasters have moved up over this way, along with my Captain and Phobos armor. Everyone in this group here has moved up closer towards these guys. He did inspire Litany of Hate, so he's going to have either reroll 1s to close combat within 6 inches. These guys, my Heavy Intercessors, stood still, as did my Eliminators, and that's all I've got on the board right now. So we will come back to you with the Psychic phase. Start with the Psychic phase. We are going to cast Smite into your dude bros over there, looking for 5s to go off. Does go off with an 8. Yeah, you've got a billion denies that you'll be able to do. Does deny with a 10, and then I'm going to try to do... what was it? We're going to do Tenebrous Curse. No, we're not. We're going to do Hallucination. No. Tenebrous Curse. Hallucination? Hallucination. We're going to do Hallucination. That will go off on an 11.
What is that?
That is going to be basically -1 from leadership, but also subtract 1 from the attack's hit rolls. From your attack hit rolls. That's all I've got, so you can...
I'll spend a CP to deny on roll 3, deny.
Oh, he's going to spend a CP on roll 3, deny 1? Or roll 3, use 2 to deny. Yeah. Take the 2 highest. Got an 11, and he's +1 to deny because of being... Oh, but that's equal to you have to beat it. So yeah, so no, I get it. He just needed to equal it, but he didn't. So 3 5s, yeah, that's pretty fun. So that will go off. So you're going to have -1 to hit me, which is the only thing that matters for that one, I think. So starting off, my Redemptor Dreadnought's going to fire everything into his Paladins over here. My opponent is going to spend 3 CP on True Silver Armor, which is basically transhuman, but more expensive because it's Grey Knights. So we're going to start with his Macroplasma, which I'm going to supercharge. So it's going to be heavy D6 shots here. 1, which becomes minimum 3 because of Blast over there. These are going to be hitting on 3 because he did move. That is going to be 2 hits, no 1, so he does not does not kill himself. Wounded on 4s because of True Silver Armor. Getting 1 wound, AP a lot, but he did get Sanctuary off on them, so 4 up invul. No, and that's going to be 3 damage, so 1 guy will be dead. And then we have the 2 Fragstorm grenade launchers. That's going to be 9 shots coming in. Hitting on 3s. Okay, dokes. And then wounding on 4s, so tough 4. That is going to be 1, 2, 3. 2 up saves. Makes them all. Oof, with 6s. And now my heavy intercessors are going to fire in here. We're going to go with the heavy bolt rifles first. These are actually rapid fire 2, so they're going to have rapid fire 1, I should say. So they're going to have 2 shots each from those guys, except for the heavy bolter, which we'll do separate. Actually, we'll do the heavy bolter first. So he's going to have 3 shots from him, hitting on 2s because they did not move. Okay, that's going to be 2 hits. Strength 5, but still because of true silver armor, wounding on 4s. That is going to be 1 wound. AP -2 because of it being heavy doctrine, -1 of those because of armor of contempt, so a 3-up save. Gonna take in the guy in cover, so it's gonna be a 2-up save. He's good, and then we've got 8 shots coming in from the other guys, 2s to hit, and then 4s to wound again because of true silver armor. Woo, not great. So that's gonna be 1, 2, 3 at AP -1, I believe, which becomes AP 0, so it's gonna be 2-ups. So roll all 2-ups, doesn't matter. Makes them all. My Hellblasters now are going to fire into his Dread Knight over here. So we're going to have 10 shots coming from them. I am going to supercharge, and I'm going to spend 2 CP on Weapons of the Dark Age to give myself +1 damage to these. So these are going to be hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s from the captain there. Rerolling these 1s. Otherwise, that would have been 2 dead guys. Ooh, baby. We got full house here, baby. All 10. These are going to be strength 8, so looking for 3s to wound. That is 8 wounds, AP -4. So what's your invul? 4-up invul save. Failing 1, 2, 3. So that's going to be 9 damage to them over there because it's 3 damage each. All right, so now my dude bros up here, my eliminators are going to fire into Drago back there in the building. Going to have 3 shots with the mortis rounds. These are going to be hitting on 2s because they did not move. Okay, getting all hits. Wounding on strength 5, looking for 3s to wound. That's going to be 2 wounds with 6s. So that's 2 mortal wounds. And then in addition, that's going to be 2 saves that you have to make here. 3-up saves because he's got his 3-up invul save. Ooh. Failing another 1, so that's going to be a total of 4 damage.
I get feeling pains against
mortals. Okay, so 2 against the mortals, 5 up against the mortals. No, so he's going to take 4 damage. My chaplain is going to fire into his interceptors over here, looking for 3s to hit because he did move, and then 4s to wound. No, nothing there. Okay. All right, that's it for shooting into the assault phase. Now my blade guard are going to charge into his interceptors over here. They're going to be in with a 5. My librarian's going to charge in. He's also in. Redemptor is going to charge in. He's also in. All right, so now into the fight phase. My Redemptor is going to start us off here, attacking into his guys over here. 5 attacks on the charge, hitting on 3s, but re-rolling everything because of the litany. That's going to be all hits, wounding on 2s. That is going to be 5 wounds at AP minus a lot. All right, so it's going to be AP -3, which is going to be reduced down to AP -2 because of his because of armor of contempt over there. So these are going to be 5/5-ups. Not making any of them, so they are just wiped because it's D3 + 3. Dead. All right, so that's going to be it for the Dark Angel's turn here on turn number 1. At the end of it, I do score extend battle lines, so I did score 5 points for that. And then I'm going to get rid of. I'm
not going to worry about that.
No, that's it. That's all I'm going to do. That's all I'm going to do. So that's all I'm going to get rid of those. And then we are going to go with, and I did not get raised banners. I'm going to get rid of raised banners. So I'm going to discard raised banners. So I'm going to be left with behind enemy line still. And I did score that. So that scores 5 points for me for my turn. And then at the end of my turn, my opponent, for no falling back, did not fall back, did not fail any morale tests because I wiped out everyone who got hurt. Means that he is going to score that for 5 points, putting the score at 5-5. So we will come back to you after with the card. You have to draw one more card. Yeah, one more card for the Grey Knights here on turn number 2. All right, so Grey Knights draw the one that they needed, raise banners. So he's also going to be trying to raise banners out there in the middle of the field. So we'll come back to, or do you want to spend a CP to get rid of that? No, he's going to hold on to that. So he's still got assassination, still got raised banners, and what was the other one? And blood and guts. So he's only killed 1 unit in close combat so far. We'll see if that continues, which is distinctly possible. So we'll come back to you after movement phase for the Grey Knights here on turn number 2. Movement phase for the Grey Knights here on turn number 2. These interceptors moved from over here over to there because they got their 12-inch teleport move that they do. The paladins are coming through the building over this way, looking on my heavy intercessors over on this side. These guys dropped in from Deep Strike onto the objective over there, and then at the end of the movement phase, they're going to be raising the banners to get him the points there. Dread Knight Grandmaster moving up around this side. 2 other Dread Knights moving around here. The one in the back there has full rerolls from Drago. He was within 6 when he started, and then Drago moved back there to protect himself. And these guys stayed back here on the objective. That is, oh, and the tank stayed in the middle over here, just doing his tank things. So that's going to be it for the movement phase for the Grey Knights here on turn number 2. We'll come back to you with the movement phase with the psychic phase. Don't worry, I know what phases happen in what order. We're going to start over here with his Brotherhood champion is going to do warp shaping. So he's going to try to change his thing. It will go off on an 8. I'm not going to try to deny it. Now Drago is going to go. What are you going to go with first? Gate of Infinity. Let's see it. That will go off on a 6. Oh no, did he use a 7? Oh, cocked. Sorry. That will go off on 8. Drago dropped himself over here. He is literally like 12.000001 inches away from my Hellblasters. That would have totally just shot him full of Hellblaster material. But he placed him down there. And I didn't even tell, my opponent didn't even remember that until after he placed it. So it was a legitimate, just like guidance from the Emperor there. That he was out of 12 inches for Auspex again. So, but he is now going to cast Vortex of Doom. Doom into
onto him. He's the closest.
Onto my chaplain, which is the closest over here.
So I'm going to cast it on. I spent a CP. I'm going to cast it on 3.
Okay, he's going to spend a CP. He's going to spend a CP, rolling 3, taking the 2 highest. So that will go off on an 11. Oh, farts. I would have to roll double fill faces for just a... What's it do again? 1 second. Alright, it's going to be doing 2d3 mortal wounds to him and then 1 mortal wound to everyone within 3, which is basically everyone over here. So, I don't feel like taking that. I'm going to try this. I know I need double 6s, but how epic would it be if I get double fill faces here? Oh, baby. Come on, show me double fill faces. Here we go. Here we go. Double fill faces! No, I got the 1, but not the other one. Oh, CP. No, I'm not going to spend a CP. It's bad enough that I wasted my deny. Oof, 2d3 mortal wounds to him over here. That is going to be 3, 4, 5 mortal wounds. That's real painful. And then 1 to everyone around here. Oh, baby. And handing out the mortal wounds. He's got 2 left. He got down to 10. He's down to 4. It killed one of the Blade Guard veterans over there. That was down to 1. And then over here, he's got 1 left. He is now going to cast Empiric Amplification into my Redemptor. Gets it off with a 10. These guys are going to cast Armored Resilience on themselves. That will go off on an 8. And this guy back here is going to cast Hammer Hand on himself. That will go off with a 9. And now his Paladins are going to start us off here in the shooting phase. 2 of them can't see, but everyone else is going to be firing into my Heavy Intercessors over here. So these are going to be hitting on 3s. All right, and then wounding on 5s because of Strength 4, Toughness 5. Because they're chunky boys. They thick. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wounds. All right, that's not bad at all. 6 AP, nothing. So these are going to be 2-up saves because they are in cover. Making them all. Woo! Now his Dread Knight, the Grandmaster, is going to fire into my Redemptor over here. Hitting on 2s because he's a Grandmaster and knows how to fire. Still gets a couple 1s though. Then these are going to be, well, 1's Strength 8, right? So those are going to be wounding on 3s and 5s. So 3s and 5s.
Explain to what your family spell does.
Okay. And then we'll get back. All right, so we've got 2 that are at AP -2 that become AP -1 because of Armor Contempt. So those are looking for 4-up saves. Make neither of those. They would be 2 damage, become 3 damage because of Empiric Amplification, and then -1 damage because of Duty Eternal. So that's going to be 4 damage from those. And then we have 4 more that are AP -1, which becomes AP -0, 3-up saves. And I make all of those. So I'm just going to have the 4 damage from the cannon. And then the guy back here is also going to fire into my Redemptor. He is going to have full rerolls because of a Durago. So that should be pretty good for him. Hitting on 3s and rerolling everything. All right, what can I say? Reroll. Okay, not great. And then wounding, again, looking at the same thing, looking for 3s and 5s. All right. All right, so then we got 3 that are at AP -2 that become AP -1, 4-up saves. Failing 2 of those, which becomes, again, 3 damage because of Empiric Amplification, becomes 2 damage, so that's going to be 4 damage. And then we've got 4 that are at AP 0, so 3-up saves. Oh, buddy. Well, he did. We will now roll to see if he explodes. Oh, and he does. That is a lot of something. Okay, we'll come back to that. All right, so it's all of my guys over here. Hailblasters are just out. Both of these Dread Knights are just out, but his Grandmaster is in. So we'll start with my Chaplain. He's going to take 1 mortal wound, still alive, into my Librarian. He's going to take 3 mortal wounds, still alive, but not by much. Blade Guard. 2 mortal wounds, still alive, but not much, into my Infiltrators. 3 mortal wounds, kills the guy, and then 1 takes 1, and then into his Grandmaster. It's 3 mortal wounds. Okay, at least he did that. Oh, but he can feel no pains. 5-ups. Ooh, it takes 1 instead. Okay. And now, because of all that carnage, he's going to fire into my Librarian, who is out of bodyguard range of anybody over here. So look out, sir, is not working for him because he's just like hanging out. So hitting on 4s now because he's been hurt by the Hellblasters. No rerolls. And then these are going to be wounding on 3s and 2s. So that's going to be everything wounded there. So let's do the 5 that are going to be AP -2 that become AP -1, become AP -0 because they're in cover. So it doesn't matter when you roll those. He's only got 1 wound left, so he is definitely dead just from that. All right, into the charge phase now. His Grandmaster here is going to charge into my Infiltrators. He needs a 10-inch charge to get in, but he has a Warlord trait giving him +1 to the charge, so he needs a 9 on the dice. Does not get it. Do you want to spend a CP to reroll that? Nope, he's going to leave it. Okay. This Dread Knight now is going to charge into my Chaplain. He will be in. And then this guy's going to have to charge around the wall over here, 6 inches into my Blade Guard. Ooh, he's in. And now these guys are going to charge into my Hellblasters, who are going to spend a CP to Overwatch. I am going to supercharge, so looking for 6s to hit.
Wait, no, we can.
Getting 1, 2, 3, 4 hits so far, and then I've got 1, 2, 3 1s, which will be rerolled because of the Captain. No more hits, but no 1s in the end, so he does not. None of them explode. And then these are going to be wounding on 2s. That's going to be all wounds at AP -5 because it's the Tactical Doctrine. AP -5, even with -1, is 4 damage. That's going to kill 4 guys, leaving just 1 guy left. And he needs a 7-inch charge. He's in. And the Paladins are going to charge into my Heavy Intercessors. They're in. All right, into the fight phase, we're going to start with his injured guy who's going to attack into my my Chaplain over here. My Chaplain is -1 to hit because of having the Cloak of Shadows. So he's going to be hitting on 4s, because would be hitting on 3s at the bracket that he's at. Becomes hitting on 4s because of that. So doesn't seem to matter at all. So that's going to be 3 hits here. Strength.
I'll have to check.
All right, so he's going to have strength +4, so he's going to be strength 10, looking for 2s to wound. That's going to be all wounds there. AP -3, which becomes AP -2. So it'll be, I think 4-up Rosarius is still better. So 3, 4-up Rosarius saves. Oh, none of them. So there's nothing I can do to save him. He did. And now this Dread Knight is going to attack into my Blade Guard Veteran. So he is going to be hitting on 2s.
3s.
Hitting on 3s. Oh, it's always 3. Oh, it's always 3. Okay, it never goes down. Okay, so he's always hitting on 3s.
So 5 attacks.
Yep. Hitting on 3s, and then wounding on 4s because he has their Deathwing Infantry. Only getting 1 wound. So 4-up Invul save, because it's AP -3, right? So 4-up Invul save. And he makes it. Woo! Intercept over here is going to have his attack in.
Yeah, I'm in convergence, I forgot. So wound rolls are 60 more wounds.
Wounds is 60 more wounds. Okay.
So, yeah, 3.
3s to hit. That's going to be 3 hits. And then these are going to be strength 5, right? So 3s to wound. Does a 1 mortal wound, and then 2 saves there. AP minus 2, minus 1, so 4 up saves. Fail them both. 2 damage apiece, right? So that's going to be 2 guys dead, and then the 1 wounded guy's going to be dead. So 3 guys dead. Not bad for the 1 guy that made it through his thing. Ooh, he was feeling it. And now his paladins are going to attack into my heavy intercessors. So these are going to be 37 attacks because there's only got 9 guys left since I managed to kill 1 of them. Hitting on 2s. I think we did 3s last time. It's actually 2s. And then strength 5, toughness 5, so 4s to wound. Come back. So we got 6 mortal wounds in there because of the Tide of Convergence they got to. And then we have 19 saves here. AP minus 2, which becomes AP minus 1. So we're looking for 4 up saves. And these are 2 damage apiece, right? So that will, yeah, that'll be plenty to wipe out the rest of the squad. And then my Hellblasters are going to fight back over here. 2 attacks each, and then +1 on the because they were charged, and +1 because the sergeant gets an extra attack over there. So these are going to be hitting on 2s because they did not move in the previous movement phase. Rerolling 1s because of the captain over there. Okay, still managed to fail 1 of those. And then wounded on 4s. So that is
Feeding frenzy for free and do more
quite a few there. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12, 3 up saves. Don't do it. No, he did. All right. And now my Blade Guard sergeant there is going to attack back. 5 attacks, hitting on 2s because he stood still during the movement phase there. That's going to be all hits. Wounded on 5s because of strength 5, toughness more than that. That's going to be 2 at AP minus 3, which becomes AP minus 2 because, oh no, they don't get armor contempt, right?
Yeah, but they still have 4 up.
Oh, they have a 4 up invul save, so it doesn't make a difference. Makes them both, of course. Damn, that was just a nerf slap fight over there. All right, so that's going to be it for the turn here for the Grey Knights. He did score Blood and Guts, did score Assassination, and did score Raised Banners. So pretty good there. I only control 1 objective with those OPSEC guys, so I get 5 points for that, and obviously not more than him since he controls like everything else. So we will come back to you with the cards for the Dark Angels here on turn number 2. All right, so I've still got behind enemy lines. Let's see what else I get. Defend Stronghold. Achieve at the end of your opponent's next turn, or at the end of the battle, whichever is first, if you control the objective marker in their own deployment zone. The secondary mission cannot be achieved during the first battle round. Okay, we'll see. Then I'm going to get Storm Hostile Objective. Is achieved at the end of your turn if either of the following conditions are true. You control 1 or more objective markers that were controlled by your opponent at the start of your turn. Your opponent did not control any objective markers at the start of your turn, and you control the objective marker in your opponent's deployment zone. So, going to be charging in, trying to get him. I think that is going to be a target. We'll see if it all comes to fruition. So we will come back to you after movement phase for the Dark Angels here on turn number 2. I'm actually going to get rid of Defend Stronghold. I thought I was trying to get his home objective. It's not. It's getting my home objective. So I think that is one that I'm just not going to be able to get right now just because of the way he's got his paladins over there on mine. And then I'm going to capture enemy outpost. Secondary mission is achieved at the end of your turn if you control the objective marker in your opponent's place. So there we go. It worked out that I got the thing that I thought I had. I only had to spend a CP for it. All right, there we go. That works out. So movement phase for the Dark Angels here on turn number 2. I've got the Hellblasters moved up a little bit this way, looking on the Paladins over there with the Captain, getting some cover over here. He fell back out of combat with his Dread Knight over here. They stayed on the objective over there, getting my holding that. These guys stood still where they were, up in the building over this side. And then out of reserves came my Eradicators on this side, my Inceptors over here, and then my Suppressors over there. So that is what we've got. The movement phase for the Dark Angels is what we got left here. Let's see how we can do this. So this is going to be it. We're going to come back to you with the shooting phase since he killed my Psyker. We're going to start off with my Eliminators firing into Drago over here. So we're going to have 3 shots with the Mortis rounds, hitting on 2s because they did not move. It's going to be all hits. Wounding on strength 5, so wounding on 3s. That's just going to be the 1 wound. at AP minus, I think he's got his 3-up invul.
Save.
Makes it. Now my captain's going to fire into the Dread Knight over here. That's a hit. That is not a wound. My infiltrators are now going to fire into his wounded Dread Knight over here. That is going to be, they did not move, so it's going to be 3 hits. Getting 1 wound, AP minus 1 because of assault, tactical doctrine, and Dread Knights do not get the benefit of Armor of Contempt. 3 up. And now my Plasma Inceptors are going to fire onto his strike squads back over here. They are going to supercharge, and we're going to fire on in here. So let's see how it goes. We're going to go this way. So the first guy is going to have 4 shots. Second guy is going to have 4 shots. Third guy is going to have 4 shots. And the fourth guy is only going to have 2 shots. Okay. All right, so I've got to do this one at a time, unfortunately, because of the fact that they're supercharging. So the first guy over here is going to be firing into them, looking for 3s to hit. Okay, so it's going to be 3 hits and would be 1 explode. I'm going to spend a CP to reroll that into a hit. So he's got 4 hits here. The next guy is going to go. Ooh, Phil faces, he's feeling it, so those are all going to hit. The next guy is going to miss 1, but he is going to get 3 hits. And then the last guy kills himself, but does get 1 hit. And then wounded on 2s.
So I'm trying to see lanes.
So that's going to be
There's like 2 lanes. Like
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 wounds. All right, so because of it being the tactical doctrine, these are going to be AP minus 4. So Armor of Contempt takes away 1, and then cover will take away another. So they will be looking for AP. They're going to be looking for 5-up saves, but 2 damage apiece. So this will kill everyone that he fails. Oh, that was a good roll, but no, he is. That's all 5 dead. And now my Eradicators are going to fire into his healthy guy over here. So it's going to be 6 shots into him over there, hitting on 3s. Okay, so it's going to be 4 hits. These are going to be wounding on 3s. That is going to be 3 wounds at AP minus 5 with them. So 4-up invul. It fails 2 of them. So the damage to them, because he's out of that half range there, is going to be 12 damage. Almost gets him. And now my 3 suppressors are going to fire into his Dread Knight over here. So it's going to be 9 shots, hitting on 4s because it's heavy and they came in from reserves. Okie dokie. So it's going to be 5 hits. These are going to be strength 7, tough 7, or tough 6?
Tough 6.
Tough 6, so looking for 3s to wound. That is going to be 4 wounds at AP minus 1. So 4 3-ups. Because they don't get contempt. Failed the 1, so that is going to kill him. Alright, so now my Hellblasters are going to go. They're going to supercharge and spend 2 CP on Weapons of the Dark Age. 2 guys are going to fire into his Dread Knight over here, and everyone else is going to fire into his Paladin. So we're going to go with the 2 firing into the Dread Knight over here. Got to do these separately, unfortunately, because they're supercharging. So hitting on 3s, because they did move to get into position. Rerolling 1s because of the Captain. That's going to be 2 hits. Rerolling 1s because of the Captain. Okay, not meant to be. Wounding on strength 8, so 3s to wound. Oof, that is real rough. And then the 5 guys shooting into the Paladins. The first one, 2 hits. Second one, 2 hits. Third one, 2 hits. Fourth one, 1 hit, but not an explode. And then another hit without an explode. These are going to be wounding on 2s because of strength 8. Toughness 4, so 2s to wound. That is going to be 5, 6, 7, 8 wounds at AP minus 5 because of the tactical doctrine. So it ends up being 5-up saves for everything in here going to their invul save. Okay. Making 2 of them. So that means that you have to roll 1 more die, I think, right? Isn't it? Wait, let me just see. It's 8? Oh, no, there's 8. It was 8. I'm sorry. So 2. So 6. 6 will be dead. All right, so that's going to be it for the shooting phase. Into the assault phase, these 3 Inceptors are going to charge into his brother champion over here. I need a 10-inch charge to get in. Come on, baby. You can do this. Nope, not going to make it on that one, so I'm spending my last CP to try to reroll this. I need this 10-inch charge. It's a lot of points swing if I can do this. Come on. Oh, with the double fill faces, they are in! Woo! All right, so now my Inceptors are going to attack first over here in the fight phase. These are going to be 2 attacks each, except for the Sergeant who has 3, plus 1 each because they charge. So it's going to be hitting on 3s. Okie dokie. And then wounding on 4s. He's tough 4, right? Yep. Okay, that is just going to be 2. Okay, not great on that roll, but that's fine. 2. 2 up saves. Fails 1, so he will take 1 wound. And now his Brotherhood champion is going to fight back. 5 attacks here. Hitting on 2s. That's going to be all hits. These are now going to be wounding on 4s because tough 5 and strength 4. So that's going to be 2 wounds. AP minus 3, which becomes AP minus 2 because of Armor of Contempt. So looking for 5 up saves. And I failed them both, so 1 guy will be dead. But there's still going to be 2 left there, which will score me objective on that score. So that is pretty good. All right, so that's going to be it for the turn here for the Dark Angels. We do have 1 morale test. His Paladins lost 6 guys. So 6 plus 3 is 9.
Equals.
What's their, yeah, their leadership is 9. Yeah. They're good to go. So they will be sticking there. So that's going to be it. But I did score basically everything because I got capture enemy outpost. Behind enemy lines, I've got 2 units in his deployment zone there. And I got storm hostile objectives because I took the one that he was holding back over there. So scored me 15 points, which means we are tied at 25 to 25 here at the end of turn 2. So, oh man, it's going to be close. It's going to be a good one. So we'll come back to you with the cards drawn for the Grey Knights here on turn 3. Alrighty, so that is going to be into this turn here. My opponent does control 1 objective and more than me, scoring him 10 points in the primary there, which is pretty good. So now we are going to go into his cards. How many do you have? None left, right? Everything's gone. Yeah. So here we go. So the first one, deploy teleport homers. You can do an action. 1 unit from your army can start to perform this action at the end of your movement phase if it is wholly within your opponent's deployment zone. If the unit performing the action is infantry or it has the objective security ability, the action is completed at the end of your turn. Otherwise, it's completed at the start of your next command phase. So he does have people back there that he can do that with. He can make that decision. Then we have grind them down. The secondary mission is active. Keep an attrition tally for both players. Add 1 to each player's attrition tally each time a unit from their opponent's army is destroyed. At the end of your opponent's next turn or the end of the battle, whichever starts first, if yours is higher than your opponent's, you score this objective. So you got to try to kill more than me until the end of my turn. And then we have no prisoners. He will be doing wounds. He will be tallying wounds that he's doing to me to try to see it. I have 30 wounds left on the table. We have to figure that one out because if I don't, then he has to wipe me, and he will get 2 points instead of 5. So we're going to figure that one out and go from there. So do you want to get rid of any of these, do you think?
I'll get rid of no prisoners.
You're going to get rid of no prisoners? You're going to spend a CP and get rid of no prisoners. Okay, so let's try another one. Into area denial, so you need to keep me out of the center there, which is out of 12 inches of the center. Cannot be achieved during the first battle round. Is achieved at the end of your turn. So if you can kill all my guys out of the center there, he will win it, which is not too hard if I'm being honest with that, with what you've got going on. So we will come back to you after movement phase for the Grey Knights here on turn number 3. All right, movement phase for the Grey Knights here on turn number 3. We have Drago making his way over here to these poor Eradicators that ain't done nothing wrong to no one, except for his friend that they basically murdered. Well, we don't talk about that. Then we have this wounded guy over here, moving up over this way, along with the less wounded Grandmaster that are moving up around here, probably signaling the very little time left for those guys that are stuck in the middle there, hoping to survive on the objective. We have my guys up here doing nothing wrong except for these paladins that are now moving up the building, going to try to kill them as they lug themselves up the stairs. I'm sure they can definitely hear these big heavy army kadoosh 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 up the as they move on up there. And then we have this 5-man squad that stayed back over here on the objective because that gets you points. Got to hold those objectives. The tank is happy in his garage back over here on the objective. And then this is the last squad that was in reserve. So everything is on the table now, ladies and gentlemen. They came over here 9 inches away from my Inceptors, who also did nothing wrong except murder their friends horribly. Plasma Doom over here. So, and then he stayed in combat with them so that they can't overwatch, I imagine. Pretty much. So that's where we got that. So that's going to be it for the movement phase. We'll come back to you with the psychic shenanigan phase. JK about those paladins, he forgot that one of his missions required him to stay in my deployment zone and then do an action. So he's just going to stay back here on the objective because it's smarter than doing it up halfway up the building as these guys just cower up there hoping that they don't get hurt. So that is what we've got there. So we will come back to you now with the psychic shenanigan section. Drago is now going to cast Vortex of Doom to start us off here in the psychic shenanigan phase into my eradicators. That will go off on an 11 or a 10, regardless, or even 9. Any combination of those 3 dice will do it. He spent the C. I should say he spent the CP to allow to do the 3. So it's gonna be 2d3 mortal wounds, doing 3, 4, 5 mortal wounds. Oof, that is real. That is real spicy. Dread Knight over here. Grandmaster is going to smite. That just barely, but he got it. That's all he needed because he's only got 1 wound. And then he will smite as well, looking for 6. Does get it off on a 6, so D3 mortal wounds, because now it actually matters. Just the 1, okay. And then he's going to smite himself.
Why did you run away?
Oop, that'll go off. Not super smite, though, because you don't get the +2. So it's going to be D3 for 2. And then they're going to smite as well, looking for an 8 going into there. Do not get it. Drago is going to fire his Stormbolter into my Eradicators over here. Hitting on 2s because he's Drago. Wounded on 5s because they're chonky. Getting 1. AP nothing? AP -1, but ignoring because of Armor of Contempt, sir. I feel contempt for you. And I roll a 2, so it doesn't matter anyway. Womp womp. The Wounded guy is now going to fire into the Infiltrator over there. Hitting on 4s because of being wounded. Rerolling 1s because of the Grandmaster over there. Okay. Rolling them wounds. 3s and 2s. That's a lot of 1s and 2s on the things that needed 3s.
So,
all right.
3 and 2.
3 and 3. So we'll do the 3 AP -2s. That become AP 0 because of the Armor, Contempt, and Cover. These are going to be 3-up saves.
2 damage.
Failed 1, that's 2 damage though, so that's going to kill him. And then the Grandmaster in the Dread Knight armor is going to fire into my Hellblasters over here. He's hitting on 2s because he's a Grandmaster. But he doesn't get to re-roll for himself because he doesn't inspire himself. He has imposter syndrome, doesn't believe that he really should be a Grandmaster, and doesn't believe his own sayings there. Wounding on 3s and 5s, right? No, 3s and...
Yes.
No, 3s and 2s. There's strength 8 and, yeah, 3s and 2s.
Yeah.
All right, so we're good there. All right, so we got 6 and 9. Nice. We'll do the 6 that are AP -2. That become AP 0 because of Armor, Contempt, and Cover. So 3-up saves, making them all. Woo! And then AP -1 on the next 9. So it's going to be 2-up saves because Armor, Contempt ignores the AP, and then +1 because of Cover. So 2-up saves. I could have sworn I was going to fail all of them. But no, I failed this the 1, but that's only 1 damage. So 1 guy will be wounded. And now we're into the charge phase. Grandmaster is going to charge into my Hellblasters over here. He will make it with a 7. And then Drago is going to charge in over here. I wish I had free Overwatch. Wish I was a Tau. 8, he will get him in. And then these guys are going to charge into my Inceptors over there. Not going to make it on a 5. And we're going to start off in the fight phase with his Dread Knight in here into my guys. So looking for 2s to hit because he's a Grandmaster. All but 1 hit. Pretty good. And then these are going to be, he's doing the sweep attack, which is why he had so many attacks there. Wounding on strength 6, so wounding on 3s.
And 6s are mortal.
6s are mortal. So it's going to be 2 mortals.
Damage 2.
And then it's going to be 2 mortals and 3, 6, 8 wounds into me over here. These are going to be looking for AP -2. So I become AP -1 because of Armor of Contempt. Looking for 4-up saves. What's the damage on these? 2. Okay, so that's going to be 6 dead guys plus a 7th dead guy because of the mortal wounds. That is 1, 2, 3, everybody. And now Drago's going to attack into my poor Eradicator over here. 6 attacks hitting on 2s because he's Drago. Still misses 1. Probably distracted by some demon that was like over his left shoulder. Wounding on 3s because he's a chonky boy and strength 8. So that's going to be 5 that are going to go in there. AP -4, which becomes AP -3 because of Armor of Contempt. I've said that a lot this game for reasons. So it's going to be 5 6-up saves. Can he make literally all of them? He can make one of them, so he is still very dead. All right, so now my guys over here get to attack first because it's the regular fight phase. Hitting on 2s because they did not move in the previous movement phase, so it's going to be 3 hits. Wounding on 4s. That is just going to be the 1 wound. 2-up save. Yeah, he good. And then he's going to get to attack back. What do you have, like 5 attacks? On 2s, because he's a champion. And then 4s, because he's got strength +1. Getting 1. AP -3 becomes AP -2. So 5-up save. No. So that will kill a guy. Okay, so that's going to be it for the Grey Knight's turn here. He scored an additional 5 points for area denial. He also scored 5 points for deploy teleport homers as those guys finished doing what they were doing in the corner over there. So we're going to move into the Dark Angels drawing their cards here. I get to draw 3. I get no primary points because I'm not controlling any objectives because he killed that one guy there, which was enough to deny me getting holding any objectives. So the first card is Hold the Line. It's achieved at the end of your opponent's next turn or at the end of the battle round, whichever happens, if there are no enemy units, excluding aircraft units, within range of your own deployment zone. So within 6 inches of my deployment zone, he has to have nothing. I don't foresee that being a thing. Then I drew Grind Them Down. While the secondary is active, keep an attrition tally. Both players. Oh, it's the one that he's already working on there. He's already got 3 right now, so technically those 3 wouldn't count against me for mine. But I also don't see myself being able to get much on that one. And then no retreat, no surrender. So I can't fail morale. I mean, I don't have a whole lot of things that I think even physically could fail morale. They would just be killing me. So technically I could get that one at the end of your turn. But if I'm being honest, looking at this, my opponent currently has 45 points. I currently have 25 points. Even if I was able to get any of those, he's going to score another 5 points at the end of my turn. So he will have 50 points at the end of my turn because I don't think I'm getting 3 kills on him. And it's just not going to happen. So I don't think I have enough models left on the board because I've got the suppressors, I've got the 1 Inceptor, and I have the Captain and then the Eliminators that are just not in position to be able to score me games. So it will be a Grey Knight victory. But man, this was a ton of fun. I had a really good at the end of my turn went very well, and then your turn went very well the other way. So I was able to get the points. But man, I really am a big fan of the Tempest of War cards. It's just really fun to have just like a random battle where you're just trying to like think on your feet and try to figure out what you're doing. Like, because even over here, like remembering that he had to hold on to that he had to do that mission objective, holding on to the objective, staying there, like staying in the center, trying to hold things off, and you act differently than if you're just doing the missions from the GT pack. So it's a really fun way to play, and I've really enjoyed it. And we had a really good time with lots of laughs, and I think some carnage, which was great. That's what you want to see. So a ton of fun. I hope you guys have all enjoyed this. I certainly have. I have been Phil, the Glacial Geek. As always, my opponent's been Matt. And until next time, stay safe and have fun.